And our draft has started, so why don't we head over to that?
Snap. The Clown Fiesta starting early, boys. Here we go. Cloud9
Fiesta.
with their first pick, first ban. They're going to deny the ETC here on Towers of Doom.
RaccAttack.
I love the prioritization on warrior bans right now. Before,
Yes.
you know, you could accidentally hurt yourself by banning out a warrior early on, but there's so many good warriors now with the new Brack and Arthas on the rise that banning out the high CC ones like ETC make a lot of sense. I mean, there's the first pick on Tassadar. We were talking about it earlier today. Tassadar's starting to see that love. He is really good.
But where RaccAttack wouldn't and OVO were not picking up Illidan in the last match, regardless of how the bans went, Illidan is now available for Cloud9. And they've already grabbed Tassadar. So are they going to get him here on Towers of Doom? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know if I would pick up Illidan on this map necessarily.
Yeah,
it's not really
Thrall.
bad. If this was like Cursed Hollow or Infernal Shrines, dude, you would expect Cloud9 to 100% pick it up. The cool thing about Cloud9 now, they never ran Thrall before, primarily because iDream doesn't like playing the hero. When we would see Cloud9 play Thrall, it was with King Caffeine playing it. Now Cloud9 has two warrior mains with both Caterpillar and King Caffeine. So if Cloud9 does want to draft Thrall, we'll talk about that pick in a second. They can have Caterpillar play the warrior and put King Caffeine on Thrall.
Well, they have grabbed him along with Tracer. I think this might be the first competitive match. Did we cast a Tracer game? I don't think we have. I think this is the first competitive Tracer game I have casted.
Yeah, I
super
can
pumped.
tell you that Tracer and Tassadar is broken. It is.
And why is that?
It's really good. It is OP, OP, OP.
Well, yes, but why do you say that?
You can't kill Tracer when she's got a
Okay.
Tassadar. She just does whatever she wants. It's just infinite sustain, infinite in your face. You got the vision for the flanks. Tracer plus Tassadar is a terrifying combo, especially in the hands of these players, as seen from scrims. It's a terrifying duo. Now, with this composition, it probably will not be Caffeine on Thrall. I would assume it'll be Caterpillar on Tassadar. I really don't know. They're still trying to figure out where they fall in these kind of hero drafts. I know both iDream hates both Thrall and Tassadar, so...
But K1 plays Task 2. Would he be the Tracer
K1
player, though?
should be the Tracer,
Okay.
from my knowledge. iDream does play it too, but from what I know, Tracer is played mostly by K1 Pro.
So it's kind of a situation that we saw with Panda Global a couple of weeks ago, too, where you'd see them rotating around on roles a lot because they're still just trying to figure out what the best for their compositions will be and for their team. I'm really excited, though, that we get to see not only Cloud9 playing this Thrall, Tracer, Tassadar composition, but that this is the first time we're seeing Cloud9 compete with Caterpillar after that pickup.
Yeah. Definitely a hype match here. RaccAttack with the next two picks. Plenty of supports are on the table for them to grab, but would not be surprised if it was the Uther.
Yeah, especially with the Rhaegar ban.
Yeah, especially with the composition Cloud9 has. If you let Uther through here, Uther, Tassadar, Thrall, Tracer sounds horrific to deal with.
Yeah, I agree. That sounds pretty awful.
I really like the comp from Cloud9 though already. It's just so much aggression, so much not aggression in the sense that MVP Black's aggression, right? Where it's just snowbally, deathbally, I'm gonna run over you aggression. This is just Cloud9 is constantly going to be doing damage to RaccAttack. That kind of aggression. It's not necessarily going to be kills instantly, but it's just a lot of in your face. There's the Uther picked up. I mean, there's no way that was going to go through with Rhaegar being banned. As for the next pick, will it be Double Warrior? Or will it be a range style? It was them that played Zagara on this map, and they won versus OVO.
Yeah, you know what I really like from Cloud9 too is they're going to be very difficult to deal with. The minute that Tracer distracts in the backline, Thrall can be up in the front or from the side flanking, throwing out a Sundering and tearing apart the team from RaccAttack. The fight is going to happen on multiple fronts, and where better to do that at than Towers of Doom, where that's happening already because of the multiple altar spawns. So I'm excited to see how they make that work. They may add a Brightwing to that too. We've been seeing Dunk play Brightwing some, and with the Tassadar, it wouldn't be the solo support Brightwing,
No.
and they would have the global presence with that.
Yeah, and there's no way they're going solo support Tassadar. They will pick a support. Even with Falstad still being on the table for RaccAttack, I'm actually not hating Malfurion right now, as it's just a lot of poke from them. Oh, Stitches, okay. That's an interesting pickup here for the composition they're going against, as Zagara and Anubarak both spawn a bunch of minions. So it's harder to get those value hooks, as there's just beetles, roaches, hydras, all over the place. But if they can get a hook, that's pretty huge for them. We'll see. Yep, it will be the Stitches. What will their final support be? Tyrande still on the table, and there it is. Tyrande on this map. Lots of sustain, lots of stalling. You got owls, you've got storms, you've got plenty of vision with owls as well as Oracle. So this is a really fantastic composition from Cloud9.
Yeah, the minute too you get Stitches, you have to consider which support can help out with the stuns to add to the hook target too. And Tyrande, of course, is going to be great for that with the Lunar Flare and Hunter's Mark, so they can quickly burst down whoever happens to get pulled in. So yeah, like you said, they have a lot of ability to delay those altar pickups too that RaccAttack will be going for. RaccAttack looking at getting Greymane for their last damage dealer. He too will offer a lot of, safe, good poke, stalling out for the altar phases. And with Zagara too, they were able to really make that work last time. So we'll see if they can do it again.
Yeah, and the Greymane, can get success versus Tyrande. There's no burst heals, so whenever Greymane does go for the throat, it's very easy to secure those kills. So we'll see here how this is going to play out for these two teams. I'm excited to see Tracer. I think this is my first time casting Tracer as well in a serious match.
Yeah, we had her in the show match last night. The Immune Fair did work with her.
Tracer is not bad. She fits the current meta pretty well. If you can get a draft that makes sense with Tracer, which I think most of the times, if you can just get Tassadar, you can make Tracer work at this point from the games I've seen.
I'll be trying to keep an eye on her build for you guys too. I think it's pretty standard though, what you go with like Slipstream. But we'll see how they choose to build her out. And who is it going to be? It's going to be Dunk Train playing Tass. K1 will be on Tyrande. And Cattle will be playing the Thrall. And iDream will be playing Tracer. So that is how they're going to set up.
Yeah, with the Tyrande, that makes sense, putting K1 on that.
Yeah, for sure.
K1's the god Tyrande. It's the problem with C9 drafts. K1's a god at like 90% of the heroes, so whenever anything gets drafted, it's like, oh, K1's a god at that. Maybe he'll play that. Oh, there's that.
K1's also good at that one. Oh.
Yeah, so it's tough call to make. I mean, I'm still not a big fan of Zagara in the current meta, but they've got a lot of things to stop Hook, so we'll see how it works out. Guys, we're loading into game number 1, the new Cloud9, with their recent addition with Caterpillar replacing Arthlon. Going up against RaccAttack. Spam your RaccAttack in the chat, as Stark loves seeing emotes and one massive wall of text.
And here we go. In the blue, RaccAttack with Panda Grape playing Uther. Zugrug again playing Zagara. Deadly Ice, of course, on Greymane. Dansky playing Kale Thoss. And Handlebars will be playing Anubarak.
And on the right, we have Cloud9, K1 Pro on Tyrande, Caterpillar on Thrall, King Caffeine playing Stitches, K1 Pro on Tyrande, and iDream playing Tracer.
The teams are about to start heading out to the lanes. We'll see them set up, looking at some of the early talents, as we're going to have a pause. Hey, now this is Gold League. This is Gold League right here.
Nice.
As soon as we introduce the teams, the pauses commence.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have been waiting several days to watch the new Cloud9 lineup. Might as well wait a few more minutes, right?
No.
No?
Yes. Well, that we have to. Wait, we must. Dansky is going to restart. Just want to make sure that they are, ready to face Cloud9. This is a huge match for them, for both of the teams. You win this and you get to go to the winners finals. You only have one match to win after that, and then you get to qualify. It's a much easier route to qualify through the winners bracket finals. And then otherwise, it's a long road. You give away a lot of compositions. You have the nerves dealing with knowing that you're playing in the losers finals all the way through. It's definitely most ideal for these teams to win this and win the next one. Hey.
Hello. I just zoned out reading chat really hard.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's cool.
I'm just... Over the last month of casting Gold League, I used up all my fill and breaks, and now I've got nothing more to talk about because I've spent about, like, the last month, 6 hours of it at least were in pauses.
You've been playing the latest patch probably quite a bit, yeah?
Yeah.
Who have been your favorites to play?
Arthas, for sure. Arthas is a lot of fun. People are going to hate me for this. Chromie, I think she's hilarious. Especially
I like playing
against
Chromie too.
teams that don't know how to punish. You just kind of throw Qs forever. I don't know. A lot of the heroes with Executioner. I've always loved playing Walla, and still do. And now she's even better.
What kind of change-ups do you think we'll see already? We're seeing a lot of different warriors.
Yeah, I mean, with the nerfs to stuns as well as just the buff to the new Brack and Arthas, we'll see those two heroes pop up. I wouldn't be too surprised if Double Warrior eventually transitions to being the main net meta, as there's a lot of good warriors now.
I would love that.
They're pretty good damages too.
I like the double warrior meta infinitely more than double support. I think it's super
Double
fun.
support's the meta right now too, though. That's and we're even seeing double support outside of like having Tass or Tyrande, which is, I agree, not very fun.
What about Chen? Have you seen much Chen? I know his health and his health regen got buffed, but
In Europe.
someday, pandas.
I mean, Chen's always had a place on certain maps. You can definitely make a really solid argument for him on Dragonshire, and then he's always kind of had a place on Cursed Hollow. I don't think that'll be the case anymore with just the rise of other warriors. I think a new Brack is going to be so good on that map. Cocoon is ridiculous.
As we saw in the last game. Well, I haven't gotten to play. I've played it some, but not nearly as much as I would like. We'll be trying to play more of it for sure.
Yeah, you need to stop traveling and play video games with me because I miss my friend who's never here.
I know, traveling too much.
Chat, let us know who you think is going to win this game. If you think it's RaccAttack, spam the chat with RaccAttack, and I mean spam. Like, I want walls of text.
Don't do that.
And if you think Cloud9's going to win, find the closest thing to a clown emote and spam that. I don't know if there's a clown emote.
I doubt it.
Maybe something like rainbows or like a giant
What about
shoe.
the number 9?
No. It's got to be clown.
What about... I don't know. Good luck.
Yeah.
We believe in you to be able to find that.
Twitch, we need a global clown emote.
What about a cloud? It's got to be a clown?
No, it's got to be a clown.
Okay. My apologies.
Or a fiesta emote as well. There's got to be like something that's fiesta-ish, right? Both work?
Because clowns are at parties, or...?
Because they're Cloud9 and they do clown fiestas.
That is so... It's weird that you don't even call it a party, you call it a fiesta.
And this isn't me. I didn't start this. Clown Fiesta has been around for a while.
I have never heard that. To give you an update, we are in fact still paused.
My hair looks ridiculous right now with how those curls are dangling down. I look like my
You
forehead
didn't
has.
even notice it until somebody mentioned it in chat.
No, I'm looking at it now. There's like these two little loops that look silly.
You're like curly fries. You have curly fry hair.
Curly fry hair. You're tilting me.
I love curly fries. Sorry. I think it's a good thing. Ugh, these pauses. It is just
You know,
like
you would
Gold
think
League.
that like after like literally probably close to at least 3 hours of pause time throughout that month of Gold League, we would get better at filling out the
I think
Gold
we've
League. There
gotten
we
worse.
chat span. Yay, RaccAttacks are there. I'm not seeing too many good clown emotes right now.
There's some nines.
There's
I
a
see some
clown.
nines.
That guy's got a clown. That's for Forsen. Oh man, that Forsen sub's got a clown. That's awesome. I just ruined your chat. It's
I see some face palms too. Yeah,
they're trying. They're trying
it's
their
well
hardest
deserved.
close to the fiesta.
Tacos or maybe tacos. Yeah, like fiestas. K1 Pro making a Dansky pun. He says, "I'm Dunsky."
Are you sure that's Dansky and not Dunsky? Where's his name? Oh, he's
I
not.
think it's
It is.
I think it's Dansky.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He's restarting his router. Surely we'll be in it soon. I
Your
mean,
hair
I
looks
don't know.
fly.
Huh?
Your hair looks fly.
Thank you.
Did it take forever?
No.
Yeah, mine neither. I just let it die outside.
Mine probably took a little longer than yours.
Yeah.
Oh. Did you put your hat on while your hair was still wet?
Yeah.
It's gonna stay wet for like ever.
That's alright.
Can we see your hat hair? Entertain us with hat hair. Hat curly fries.
I don't know how bad it looks under the hat right now because I haven't looked at
I
it since I
know.
put the hat on. So it's
Now
like,
that's all you'd be able to think about is how bad your hat hair is.
this could look terrible if I take it off, but I'll do it.
Think about how entertaining it'll be for all of us. Here we go. It was like flattened down and then the curl was like popping out. Thank you.
Yeah.
So you did it for the good of the stream.
Great. Now, Caffeine's laughing at me about Curly Fry. I'm gonna be known as Curly Fry Birthday Boy from now on.
Curly Fry birthday boy. That was an amazing nickname.
I just tilted myself.
CFBB. That's pretty amazing. Apparently it was a modem restart. It's got to be close to the 10 minutes.
Yeah. I didn't check the time.
We didn't check the time.
Should we go to a break?
Yeah, let's go to a break.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Let the battle begin.
Okay, game has started, guys. We're back into it.
Oh,
Hello, here we go. I don't know why cannon tower is selected. There's a hook!
there's
And
a dead
dead.
kill boss.
One of many. We'll try to keep the hook counter going. That was a great hook, though, and they had the lineup ready with the Lunar Flare and the Hunter's Mark II to make sure that they could get that kill. And that is something that they need to watch out for, too. Nobody is safe, really, because of Hunter's Mark. Even a tank can be taken out from that combination.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. Maybe they didn't take a second to remember what composition Cloud9 had, because yeah, that was a brutal first blood there from Cloud9. iDream being very aggressive on the Tracer, especially once you get level 7. When you get the Kala's Embrace, once iDream is floating those preemptive shields, you'll see him being very aggressive with this Tracer.
Yeah, they're looking for potentially another hook too as they're starting to come around here. There goes iDream jumping in with the Tracer. Zugrug has been playing very safely, and once he can get the creep to be spread out more too, that will really help out to make sure that they don't get caught, or at least he doesn't get caught specifically from those rotations and the kills. Tracer nearly has Pulse Bomb ready for this first Altar phase fight.
Yeah, iDream's been very aggressive so far with his trades. It will be the triple spawn, of course, as it always is the triple spawn at the start of the game now. And we'll see how they plan on contesting it. We have Dunktrain and iDream here in the bottom to potentially duel out Zugrug. It looks like King Caffeine, K1 Pro, and Caterpillar will be taking a defensive position.
Here they are setting up. The fight is happening a bit underneath the bottom one. It looks like Cloud9 is very okay with maybe not getting that left one, but remember, they do have level 4 and should have the Pierce too, and as you see, it's flying over, and Uther does not secure that altar. The top right, the first one to be grabbed, the bottom right, or the bottom one is also going to be grabbed. Sorry, those were reversed, but Uther is still going to be able to pick up, so Cloud9 wins that 2 altars to 1.
Yep. Nice trade there for them. You know, a lot of the teams right now, we're seeing the 3-2 split, as teams are liking to call it here in NA, where you send 2 bottom and 3 to your defensive one. And unless you really force and engage, maybe 5 versus 3 top, the 3-2 team is usually coming out better. So really nice job there from Cloud9. Experience is still dead even, though.
Yeah, and with that Pierce, that will constantly be able to help out, as well as Empower too. You know, that with battle momentum changes, you don't get the reduced cooldown on your heroic abilities anymore, even though she has a little bit better than old battle momentum. It's 0.6 seconds reduced instead of 0.5, but still with Empower, they will be able to reduce the cooldown a little bit on that that heroic ability too.
King Cappy taking some light poke here, but we'll be able to get behind the wall. He's going to be sitting in that solo lane. Dunktrain doing a good job so far trading. They do get the body block onto Dansky. Gravity does not end up connecting there. Dansky will be just fine. Lunar Flare does actually come out. iDream looking for the damage. Does get the ult down on him, and Dansky almost gets taken out. They are going to reposition themselves and not be able to secure that kill just yet.
A little bit of Tracer play I did get to see showed Slipstream at level 1, but we're actually seeing the Pulse Strike at level 1 for iDream. That means that it's easier for him to be able to get his Pulse Bomb up more often from using the melee, and then following up with Parting Gift, which is, again, the standard one that I see. So that's why we're seeing him be able to have his Pulse Bomb up like so early like we saw in that first Altar phase fight.
We do see that they are positioning themselves around this shrine. Cloud9 with the better positioning right now, especially knowing that they have the stitches. Whenever they're in this position, they'll be able to aggressively land those hooks a little bit easier. Roach is cleared up pretty quickly. Dunktrain going for the cap. Handlebars does get these spines to force the juke real quick. They're pretty clumped up, so one Flame Strike's going to hit 3 people to interrupt that one. Dunktrain still being paused out. Zagara might be able to get interrupted. The Heart Engage is coming down here. King Cappy taking a lot of damage. Deadly Ass getting low, having to back out, and the double support from Cloud9 is showing its sustain. Zugrug getting low from the ult from iDream. He's dashing forward with the Tracer. Nice double stun.
Oh my gosh!
Zagara and Anubarak going to fall very quickly. Great hook from King Caffeine as well, and that's going to be a 3-for-0 exchange, and the altar going over to Cloud9.
Man, they had such good synergy. A double Lunar Flare was perfect from K1 Pro. And then even if the Lunar Flare is down, they have the Feral Spirit available to root should they end up getting a good hook like they did. And that really started with that great hook even on Deadly Ice early on. It got Greymane low enough that he couldn't really do what he would want to do, you know, get maybe into the back line and start messing with Tyrande a little bit. He was so low at the start of that fight, they couldn't really do too much with him. And he was up in the top. He did at least help them get level 7. Now iDream might be caught here, but they're doing great damage to Zugrug, and with that recall, iDream will get away.
Yeah, they do have the chase onto handlebars right now. Sun's going down onto K1 Pro. Lunar Flare connects with Dansky. Nice cleanse coming out, though, from Panda Grape, and that's going to save him right now. But is anyone else going to die? Good body blocks on the handlebars. I don't think he's got the bro charge up. The Storm does come out. That's going to secure another kill there. And Cloud9 really showing the aggression of this composition. We take a look at the hero damage done. Tracer, man, 13,000, almost 14,000 damage already, just showing you how aggressive iDream's being, and they just about to hit level 10.
That Psionic Storm, too, was just really cool play, knowing that New Rock was going to try to run back to his base and heading him off even a bit more, doing damage, or making him run even further away from his base. Either way, it's a win there, and it helped them secure that kill. And that's level 10. That's heroic abilities. We'll see what they grab. For Tracer, it looks like it's the Quantum Spike, so additional damage with that Pulse Bomb.
Yeah, playing Team League with iDream, he's experimented with all of those heroics a lot, and he just thinks that that one's just better 99% of the time. Just the extra single target damage. He says that so many targets just barely live. If you look at that kill on the potential Dansky early on, where Kel'Thas just barely lived from the Tracer Bomb, well, that 10% extra damage probably would have secured the kill.
Yeah, and they already have great single target damage. The burst able to wreck somebody like that, even without that too, with the Hunter's Mark. So add the Hunter's Mark with the potential of having that Quantum Spike too, and that is going to be one dead hero for RaccAttack. RaccAttack are just trying to get their heroic abilities. Uther is also trying to pick this altar up with a Tyrande and a Tassadar. It's going to be so tough for them to be able to steal something away like that, since they have that good safe poke. And without heroic abilities, that'll be 2 more altars for Cloud9.
Yeah, level 10 picked up here finally. I mean, they had to give it up. They couldn't even contest one of them, even in a defensive posture. Not versus this comp. They had to give it up. So it's going to be 36-20. Cloud9 with a pretty big advantage here. Taking a look at the heroics, it will be Red Wrap picked up. Or excuse me, Cocoon did it this time. I was good, I was good about it on the Battlefield game. Not this time, though. Rip the dream.
Yeah, Cocoon, of course Devouring Maw. Everything's super normal for both sides. I'm excited about the Quantum Spike, ready to see if iDream can make one of those Pulse Bombs stick. But for now, it is Cloud9 in control of this game. About, well, a full level lead for them as they're trying to get to level 13. They're picking up more pumpkins to siege down the structures of RaccAttack, give them more experience and potentially more shots here on Towers of Doom from the altars. Yeah.
Full level lead right now for Cloud9. iDream just aggressively scouting constantly, and it's really just easily done by him. He's got the mobility, he's got the survivability, so he's just constantly trying to see where he can get picks, where he can catch people out of position, and potentially, you know, if Kel'Thas is in a bad rotation, Greymane in a bad rotation, iDream should be able to 1v1 them. So Cloud9 going to be pushing in this bottom wall. That should be able to secure them level 13 right before the next altar phase should be spawning very, very soon.
Tower has just a little bit of health left on it, but still they are about to grab those 13 talents. And we'll see what they grab. They have the potential for Relentless if they want that for the Stitches. There is definitely some crowd control there for the side of RaccAttack, so we might see that. Yeah, there is going to be what he picks up. Just making sure that he could stay out in front and maybe even tank some of those CC abilities.
Seeing Bullet Spray picked up from Tracer, just kind of the default talent right now at level 13. Just gives you wave clear, gives you more damage in team fights if you can get in the middle of multiple people. So no surprise there. The hook does go down onto Panda Grape, though. Hunter's Mark goes out. No Lunar Flare from K1 Pro, though. And he's going to be able to walk away. Zagara's in the top lane. Again, they're down a talent tier, and RaccAttack is just one to give it up.
Yeah, I like that they're grabbing these pumpkins, though, and with everybody there, are they going after the boss? I think they are. This should be sniffed out. Nobody is on the map at all, really. Catapult is going to walk right past that, but can they even get here in time? So many members are down low, and yeah, they're just going to have to give this boss up. Deadly Ice nearly dies for it.
Yeah, nice job. I mean, they had to try and get something, and they did sneak in that boss, so that's going to be free core damage for them. Good job from RaccAttack with the shot calling. It was very risky and very scary, and that could have been a really massive wipe for them, but they got away with it, so really... Oh, wow. iDream soloing Kael'thas there. Tracer, man. She is good.
Yeah, watch out for the Tracer. And that does further them in their experience, though. As long as they can continue to keep these experience leads before the altar phases, they force RaccAttack to trade out something. Yeah, they traded out a boss, but still less than ideal because they're giving up altars. They are maybe even losing out in the Siege War, too, as you're seeing members from Cloud9 start to push onto that bottom altar and hopefully eventually get it low enough, especially if they could get both of these pumpkin camps to get more shots for their altars.
Level 15 almost here for Cloud9. They're going to have about 2-level lead here going into 16. Pretty big advantage for them. Aggressive scouting from Dunk Train. King Caffeine doesn't hook. Not going to connect with anyone. More of just trying to reposition them. K1 Pro and iDream are here as well. They're going to be aggressively positioning themselves. Potentially get a gank here. Pentagrape does walk forward. They're looking for the fight. iDream goes forward and does good burst to handlebars already.
And they've been able to push them away. They want to continually clear out the creep. You see them really focusing on that. It's a lot easier when they have the Tassadar too. With Oracle, I'm not sure, did he pick up Mental Acuity? He did not get Mental Acuity, but even still, they see a lot of those creep tumors placed down. They can throw it on the Oracle and keep that cleared out so they maintain the vision advantage with Tassadar and Tyrande. The next altar phase is about to spawn, and it is that 5th phase. So we're looking at 3 altars spawning.
Yeah, this could be devastating here for RaccAttack. Well, they're trying to force a fight. 4 versus 3 down here. It was 5 versus 3, but Zagara did rotate up here. Dunk Train getting hit with the Gravitas, but not going to end up dying here. And Cloud9 does not have the advantage right now when it comes to talent. So RaccAttack trying to make something happen. Hook going to hit a Beetle, I believe, there. So that's going to be the first one going over to K1 Pro. Will he get the Owl? No, he sends it bottom instead. So that they're going to go ahead and they'll at least get RaccAttack, get one of them. But now they're here. Nice stun going down on the Panagrape. There is the bomb. Divine Shield used to stop it, though. So now that Heroic is down.
Yeah, that's a huge heroic. That's a very long cooldown to have to lose. A Sundering comes out, and K1 Pro with the Starfall takes out Kael'thas. Another Lunar Flare is going to hit, but Panagrape stays alive. But still, in the bottom, his team was able to bring down Zagara too. So it's a 2-for-0, and Deadly Ice is in trouble. Has the stealth from Eyes in the Dark to get away. There's a Lunar Flare and a Hunter's Mark, and then with the Sentinel, a new Barak drops too. Level 16 is here for Cloud9, and RaccAttack did not get away from that soon enough.
18 or 8 to 28 in health core health. I'm saying words. Need to order them better. But we do see that this is a pretty big tier for Cloud9. It's going to be lock and loaded, which is when you reactivate it when you're at the second half, I believe, of your ammo pool.
Yes.
You do additional damage. We're going to be seeing Fishing Hook as well. And then, of course, seeing Ranger, which is the kind of go-to Tyrande style right now. With just the Owl Burst, still seeing the battle momentum despite the nerf to battle momentums, and of course Sprint as well. That's always been kind of a K1 Pro thing. It's just the aggression with the Sprint.
Right.
That's
and
more standard now.
Yeah, and with the Fishing Hook too, making sure that they can get those hooks that they're wanting to go for. And 2 full levels ahead are Cloud9. No 16 yet for RaccAttack, and they're facing a very uphill battle here. As the Cloud9 has just been really great at their aggression. They've been set up ready for those hooks whenever they can find them. And that gets even scarier now with Fishing Hook.
Minute on the boss. We'll have the next altars a little bit before that. This could be game here for Cloud9. Despite still being only 14 minutes into the game, they've just done a great job of controlling all these altars. And they're about to get a bell tower for minions.
Yeah, their rotations have been really on point. They actually were able to get this bell tower even before the pumpkins had been grabbed, and now they are going to escort these pumpkin zappers, and why not? Their opponents don't have 16. They have to fight underneath here in this choke. There's the strong potential that a hook could come out, and we've seen how fast the Lunar Flares are ready, and this means that they're not defending versus that other bell tower too.
Yep, so this is 2 bell towers down for them. Great damage coming out from Cloud9 so far. It is a double spawn, so this could very easily, even with none of the sappers going through, Cloud9 needs to cap, can still end the game here. Nice hook going down onto Uther. Divine Shield was used, and that's a huge, and Maw.
Oh,
2
wow.
heroics down before the contention of these 2 altars. That is really bad for RaccAttack.
Yeah, and the Sentinel slowed down a couple of the mounted members too. A hook nearly grabs Zakara. Just barely got away with her Zerg tail in time, but the Sundering is going to be trouble. Zagara is down. Cocoon has been hit on one of the members, but they're going to break him out, and Caterpillar can get right back in the fight. Uther will die. Kael'thas goes down too, and...
Oh!
Hello?
Cattle. he's the green Jesus. He'll be just fine. Well,
And that'll be game.
Yeah, that is game. This is the last shrine or altar up. 2 shots left on the core. Cloud9 with a 14 kill to 0 advantage. 5 bell towers to 1. 3 level lead are going to take the series in a pretty Cloud9 fashion.
And then it was convincing, or...
Yeah, that's actually not something you can say anymore after lately.
Wondering what you meant by a very Cloud9 fashion.
They used to. This is an old Cloud9 fashion where they look really good. Oh no, they just had full control over the game. Take a look at Hero Damage Tracer on top by a large amount. 37,000 damage. Caterpillar just behind with 31,000. Closest person on the end of RaccAttack, 23,000 with Kael'thas and Zagara. So I dream almost doubling the damage of both Kael'thas and Zagara.
Well, that'll be the end of game number 1 on Towers of Doom. We'll see if RaccAttack can bring it back on our second game here in a second. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a bit. All right, guys, we are back in the best of 3 between... My game is like doing something weird. Sorry, between RaccAttack and Cloud9, we're going to go right into the draft as it is ready.
Yeah! Sky Temple's going to be the map here. RaccAttack with that first pick. They're going to deny the Tassadar. I mean, I think that's going to be the normal within a week, at least. Or at most. Tassadar is... It doesn't just fit with Tracer. It fits with every single composition and every single powerful hero. Kael'thas amplified by Tassadar. Illidan amplified by Tassadar. Tracer amplified by Tassadar. Any hero in the game that's
Zoia.
amazing is amplified by Tassadar. And we're starting to see multiple regions first picking it. And we just saw Cloud9 first pick it. So no shocker there at all.
I like that Cloud9 has followed up too with the Tyrande ban too, saying, all right, well, if one of us doesn't get that pseudo support to help enable, then neither of us is going to get that, and they will ban her out too. But they're still going to pick up Muradin and Thrall as their picks, with RaccAttack getting Kael'thas. Yet again, this is the second time they have prioritized getting Kael'thas in the first picks just within the series alone.
Well, Muradin Thrall for Cloud9. Pretty standard picks just in general across all teams. Zeratul Brightwing being picked up, I mean, I think that's completely fine. I think Zeratul's like the #1 sleeper hero in the game right now. A lot of teams, a lot of regions are still not respecting enough. But especially on this map, Zeratul Brightwing is terrifying. There's a lot of rotations that you can just aggressively scout. As Zeratul, catch a Kael'thas moving between lanes, and suddenly it's a 1 versus 2, and Kael'thas is dead.
Right.
The vision's great. The split soaking's great. So it's early for a Brightwing pickup, but I think these 2 picks are great for RaccAttack.
Yeah, and the Brightwing, yes, the duration of Polymorph was reduced, but they increased the slow on it too, so it's even easier really for you to get a kill off of that initial Polymorph slow. And with that, picking up the Brightwing, they're going to ban Uther too, so they're basically taking out the Divine Shield as a possibility, instead saying, okay, well, you can have one of these heroes that heals all the way back up in Rhaegar, but there's more likelihood to miss it than there is the Divine Shield.
Rhaegar going to be the pick here for Cloud9. In terms as to what their other damage will be. Sylvanas is still on the table. But it's going to be a Falstad, probably played by K1 Pro. Don't really see auto build, even with the change of season marksman. His entire way, like they reworked the talent build and stuff, just makes so much sense for mage build. The static shield at 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like the Falstad pickup here too, especially because RaccAttack did have the Brightwing shown earlier on, so both of them now have a way of getting around Sky Temple quickly, which is a good thing to have. It's such a big battleground. RaccAttack have 2 picks now, their final 2 picks. They're going to need a warrior of some type. ETC is banned out and no Muradin. So we're down to potentially the new Brack again, although they're showing that they want to pick up Johanna here. And with this last pick, are they going to be okay with the solo Brightwing?
I mean, I don't think they have a choice, unless they want to do, like, Mouth Brightwing.
Yeah.
Which we do sometimes see, like, weird duo support comps, but... And Sky Temple's always been the argument for duo support, but I don't think it would also care.
They could double warrior on it too, since the warriors are really great at holding the shrines pretty safely. But would they have enough damage then?
I don't know. I don't know. Whatever RaccAttack does, I just don't like it. I was hyping up the Brightwing Zeratul from before, but with both pseudo supports banned out instantly, it kind of almost eliminated that playstyle. So while I was trying to hype up the Brightwing Zeratul, I'm just realizing now that they really can't get a second support with the Brightwing, and that's always been her struggle. So essentially, what this game comes down to is RaccAttack getting picks, catching someone in a rotation, catching Falstad, getting a kill that way.
Yeah, I think they're really going to struggle in the big 5v5 fights around the temples, but if they can get a good devouring Maw, Zugrug has shown that he is capable of landing those really good ones, and they have the Void Prison too, so they have some good heroics to try to make it so that it's never really a full 5v5 fight. They catch some members of Cloud9 out, they take out whomever is not in those heroics, and then in that way, just like you said, get the picks so that they can win.
Greymane going to be the pickup here. I think that's great. Versus the solo support Brightwing versus so many squishy targets. Literally everyone but Johanna's a squishy. Zeratul, very easy to kill with the Thrall Muradin, even with the nerf to stuns. Kael'thas, squishy. Zagara, squishy. I mean, Brightwing, extra squishy. So go for the throat. Very powerful here. I think this is just a great draft from Cloud9, and it's like nothing fancy. This is not a crazy draft. No one would ever bat an eye at this and be like, oh, that's something special, right? That's something new and interesting. It's just a standard composition. And again, I think most of my problems with this composition just come from the solo support Brightwing. It's really hard to make that work.
And talk about a combo that's been around for a long time. Thrall and Greymane is such a good combo together because of the Sundering. Greymane can very quickly find targets out of that to make go for the throat, be ready and get going with that, get the resets from it. So I am a little bit scared for RaccAttack, for sure. I think it'll come down to how well they are able to pull apart Cloud9 with Devouring Maw and Void Prison. We should be getting started pretty quickly. I did not see which side. Do you know if the teams switch sides?
Neo.
Like they didn't, or you don't know?
I didn't, Neo.
All right. I can always change it once we get into the loading screen.
We will find out soon. If anyone in chat has an update on the other games, I don't know which one's being streamed on J-House. I assume he went in the Tempo Storm versus Hot Dog Burglars, but he might open lower bracket.
It is.
Okay. Well, guys, we're loading into game number 1, and it is Cloud9 on the left, so swiggity swap.
Joy!
Joy!
Guys, get excited. Send your tweets. Use the hashtag HGC to let Blizzard know how excited you are for these games. Tweet at us. Let us know how much fun you are having. Hopefully it is a lot, because we are ready for game number 2, and it could be Cloud9 moving on right here in this series. Here we go. In the blue is Cloud9 with Dunked Terrain playing Rhaegar Caterpillar on Thrall, K1 Pro playing Falstad, iDream on Greymane, and King Caffeine playing Muradin.
And on the right, in the red trunks, it's going to be down 0-1, RaccAttack. Zugrug playing the Zagara, Deadly Eyes playing Zeratul, Panda Grape playing a Brightwing, Handlebars playing Johanna, and Dansky playing Kael'thas.
Does it kind of sound like Tychus introducing? Can you do a good Tychus impression? You know what he says? Hell, it's about time. Obviously, I'm awful at it.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible.
I agree.
Big push here coming out from RaccAttack as they get down the tower very easily and are going to back up. It looks like Thrall's going to be top lane. Caterpillar going to control the watchtower. And yeah, pretty standard exchange so far in the early game.
That'll be great for them. For the second temple phase, we've got to get through the first one too and make sure that they don't lose too much from Cloud9, as that always tends to be the case with that second temple phase. But at least with Zagara down there, she'll be able to keep the creep up as much as she can. Try to push back iDream down here too. The rotations between mid and bot happening for, or mid and top happening for both of the teams. Trying to make sure that they have control of the watchtower in advance for the first temple phase.
Yeah, controlling the eye is very, very important on this map for the first phase. So you'll see them contesting that as much as they can. RaccAttack going to get a slight experience lead here as we're getting closer to those temples spawning. We'll see how these teams are going to contest this. It's very hard for a solo support Brightwing to maintain sustain. Doesn't get blink kill till level 10. All of her healing comes from her traits. She has to be stacked on top of people to get value out of it. So this could very easily be a situation where Cloud9 gets the majority of shots from both of them, just because they have no sustain versus the Rhaegar.
Yeah, I think one thing they could try to do is force Greymane to come up to the fight and leave Zagara down there so they get ahead in experience. But they have to make sure they don't lose somebody in the middle of that. Now, Brightwing is starting to phase shift in to join the team here around the middle temple. They're trying to force people off. If you can kill that big temple guardian too, it will give you a little bit more experience than your team. But Greymane is actually taken down Zagara, and that's a huge win.
Yeah, iDream going to win that 1v1. I was about to show the bottom lane a few seconds later because I saw the Zagara push, but iDream just got really aggressive and was able to secure that kill. Cloud9 going to hit level 4 first. This is a huge tier for Falstad, getting the extra survivability, especially with how K1 Pro plays it, which is just aggressive and in your face always, just allowing him to do that a little bit better. So middle shots are going to go all the way to Cloud9. You see Dunk Train rotating up. There's still plenty of shots here in top, and Cloud9's already trying to get on the point. Ironskin used very early in this fight. Gravelap's going to connect with Caterpillar. He's going to take a little bit of light poke here, but Dunk Train has rotated up. It's all 5 members for both teams up here, and Cloud9 slowly getting poked down. Nice route from Caterpillar, by the way, if you catch the Zeratul out of stealth.
Because RaccAttack chose to contest at that middle temple, even though in that 4v4, knowing that Zagara was down at the bottom, they did put themselves in a situation where now this top one has a lot more shots, even though the bottom one finished, or the mid one finished so much sooner. And so now that's why we're seeing Cloud9 contest so heavily too, because they know that they are going to be able to win this phase. They take out Handlebars, and with the Warrior down, the rest of RaccAttack just have to run away. Yeah,
and this is going to be the rest of these shots going over to Cloud9. That's going to give them a full level lead, Gilly. And there's still going to be more damage being done here. And that's what I'm talking about. The solo support Brightwing, it's just... it can't keep up. There's just not enough sustain. There's a lot of poke. So much poke on the end of Cloud9. Not as much poke as RaccAttack has, but there's still poke. And Brightwing's just going to struggle with Chain Lightning, with Greymane Cocktail, with Falstad Boomerangs. I mean, it's just so much poke that Brightwing just can't keep up with until 7.
I like that Dunk Train picked Spirit Walker's Grace at level 4 to lower the Chain Hail mana cost, knowing that they are getting in those long sustained fights around the temples. And that's going to make sure that he has more Chain Heals available for his team. And that just goes right back into what we were talking about, where both teams have a lot of poke. They're going to be in those long, drawn-out fights, especially in the single temple phases. And if they can make sure that they can stay just a little bit longer than their opponents, out-heal and outlast the poke, then they're just eventually going to get that one kill like they did there and be able to go away. Now on the bottom, RaccAttack's got a good push. They've taken out the gate and the other tower in anticipation. The fact that they have those giants there to help them out, but in anticipation for the next temple phase.
Yeah, they got a front wall down, but how much will they lose in top as K1 Pro with this Bruiser push can do some serious damage. Good stalling so far from Panda Grape, and the rest of the team is going to be able to rotate up there, but this fort's going to take some damage, Gilly.
Well, Panda Grape's going to take them a bit to clear that out. Some of the members of RaccAttack are starting to get their Bruisers too, so that they can have them pushing while they are down at the bottom temple phase. But still, they're starting to lag behind in experience. And as Cloud9 get closer to those heroic abilities, if they can get close enough in time, they may be able to force RaccAttack away from even trying to contest that temple.
Well, we're getting closer to that temple phase. Again, good job from RaccAttack of catching up on experience for Cloud9. They still have the advantage going into 10, though, and the Shrine is spawning in 9 seconds. iDream already in position to potentially catch someone in a aggressive rotation in. And we'll see when Falstad and Brightwing plan on flying in. Falstad probably going to stay up here for most of this Bruiser camp.
Yeah, I think he definitely can. Deadly Eyes has got the phase shield as Panda Grape is going to phase shift in. And now with this limited amount of time, they have a 5v4. We're seeing Johanna get down onto the temple and start getting some shots onto the well. Now the well is gone, so they don't have that for being able to re-engage. But Falstad is starting to move into position, and here comes the fly.
Yeah, he is flying down now. About half the shots were taken so far, and that evens up the experience quite well for RaccAttack. If they can get that fort, that would put them in the lead here. Good poke coming out from K1 Pro, though, and a Stormbolt connects with Dansky, getting him the half HP. Deadly Eyes very far forward. Pentagrape going for the shield, and does get it, but now Teleport is down, and he can't do that for a while. And that's really the only extra sustain that he brings to this table right now. Great Gravity Laps onto K1 Pro, though. He's already a third of his HP left, and Dunk Train's the one controlling the point, so he's not going to be able to heal it up until he rotates back. Deadly Eyes potentially looking for the combo to kill K1 Pro, but does back out. And Cloud9 on the verge of level 10. Can they make something happen? No, they're just going to give up the rest of the shots, and that's going to give that fort, and that's going to even up experience.
Oh, great plays from RaccAttack. They really had to make sure they didn't lose anybody there, but get enough of the shots to get the fort, and they played that beautifully and got caught back up. There's the heroic abilities for both sides. Let's see what they grab.
Everything looking pretty normal here. Avatar picked up from Murden. No playmaker this game.
No falling sword either. We're back to the Blessed Shield.
The dream is dead. the dream is dead.
Agreed. All right, well, both teams are starting to get back out in the lanes, making sure they keep up with the soak, getting pressure where they can, especially at that top fort for RaccAttack since it has taken some damage. And Zagar is going to be able to help out the Giants in the bottom and get them pushing enough that they might be able to force a lot of members of Cloud9 to come down here. But the fight was maybe breaking out in mid. They're all going to back away.
Well, RaccAttack with experience lead just for a moment, Gilly. They have swung it in their favor. You got to give it to Zugrug. You know, we do see Zagara kind of a bit in Europe, and even then it doesn't look half good half the time. But Zugrug's been doing a great job. He's been great positioning, great sustain, never really overextending, saved his Maws for when it's needed. Deadly Ice actually in a lot of trouble there. Does force some right wing teleports. So, good job from Cloud9 for doing that.
Yeah, she did come from top though, so it wasn't the end of the world. But still, those minions are going to start to go onto the fort, and that's you're seeing them rotate back up to try to make sure to keep that fort as healthy as they can. It's so important that you do that for your structures when you're on these battlegrounds where the objectives attack them directly, because any extra damage that's done on them just limits the shots that need to be picked up from your opponents. So they've been really babying that lane for a reason.
Deadly Ice trying to push in this middle lane. Just get as much damage onto these towers as you can for the next temple phase. Will be a double spawn in top and bottom. We'll see who is going to contest which one. Looks like Cloud9 is going to be contesting bottom. Usually in this situation, an advantage goes to the team contesting bottom because of this thing right here. You get the option for going boss much easier, but it does get sniffed out. Cloud9 is going to back off of it. They catch Deadly Ice. He does blink forward. Do they have a catch for him? Takes a lot of damage. The gust to the corner from
wow.
K1.
Perfect!
Beautiful gust there from K1. They do get the Void Prison, but it doesn't matter. He is going to fall.
And we saw the attempt for a phase shift to come in, but that was absolutely incredible. And now they go right back to the boss. They know there's no Void Prison to try to stop this. Somebody is still in the top lane getting that, they can surmise that it's Brightwing. They still have members that are going to come in and try to contest. They do have Devouring Maw available for this.
Brightwing died to the...
Oh no!
But the ball goes on to the point. iDream is on it though. This is going to go over to Cloud9. Zugrug really caught by iDream and K1 Pro. Dansky's being body blocked as well by King Caffeine and Caterpillar. Essential healing was used. Dansky's probably going to go down as well. Hannibars is going to survive. A 4-for-1 exchange to include Brightwing dying top lane, and that's a great win for Cloud9.
Where you saw it very close between the two teams, I think that is going to be a big swing in the pendulum of this game, the momentum of this game. Getting the boss, K1 Pro and Dunk Train having to run away here, but the boss is going to get the fort. They use Mighty Gust just to ensure the disengage. There's still a temple available, and they're going to get quite a bit of experience off of this. They've at least taken control of the experience fight once again.
The shrine's just now being started, Gilly. And when it comes to structures, Cloud9's behind. They're down a full fort right now, where they still have their opponents up 2 in middle and top. So they're still not significantly far ahead. They need to win this shrine, and then they should be able to clean up all 3 forts if they get this tower. Let me actually check out mid. Yeah, they'll get all 3 if they can hold all the rest of these shots.
Yeah, they have the Giants here though too, so that's. I guess both teams have their Giants. So they're going to be trying to clear them out, help push them forward, and let them have the advantage over this lane. King Caffeine's Dwarf tossing away. And Void Prison's available, but Devouring Maw is not. We'll have Ancestral Healing in 20 seconds. And that's a big one for Cloud9 to be able to have in the fight. But once they get that, that's also when they're going to have Devouring Maw. Unfortunately for our RaccAttack team, they won't have Johanna for the fight once they got those heroic abilities, and that will be the end of them contesting here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, that's going to give the rest of these shots. That should be a double fort here despite losing some of the shots, and that will give Cloud9 a significant experience lead. They're already up almost a full level, but getting both those forts is going to help them secure level 16, Gilly. Won't be enough off of just this, but it's definitely a pretty big boost.
Yeah, Falstad's already up in the top, starting to help the minions along to that fort, which is getting broken down by the tower, or the temple. I don't think it's going to be enough to take it out completely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it's very close.
Very close. Wow. Cloud9, if that would have happened, they would have had 16. And they would have been a lot more aggressive here, but right now you see them kind of just waiting, trying to soak what experience they can. Until the next Shrine phase spawns, we're going to go ahead and take the Eye as 5. You see Cloud9 now, we're getting later and later into the game, especially versus the Brightwing Zeratul, they're having to stay together. If they're ever in an isolated position, if ever Caterpillar soaking a lane by himself, if ever False Sides by himself, the Zeratul Brightwing can secure a kill, and when you're this late in the game, any deaths is just devastating.
Well, there is 16 for Cloud9, and that can help them be more aggressive. Like the RaccAttack, we're at least trying to push in and maybe take out that final 4 of Cloud9, but seeing them get 16, they're going to back off and just try to catch up in the talents again as they're finding themselves behind.
Nice.
Iron Skins used.
A big combo going down onto iDream. If that would have been 16, that would have been a lot more damage. It's still forcing him to get healed up there. Deadly Eyes just safely soaking this bottom lane, not wanting to shove out the waves any further than it already is, as it just gets harder and harder to soak the closer they are to your opponent's base. And this should be 16 before the next altar phase here for RaccAttack.
Yeah, RaccAttack still staying in this, despite the fact that it's 7 kills to nothing, and they are slightly behind in structures. They have the power of them to be able to get that split soak, and the damage that Zagara did earlier onto the structures means that they're still going to be able to fight over this temple phase, which will be starting in just a few seconds. They're going to grab 16 there, and that is a big one for Kael'thas. He has Sun King's Fury. Johanna's going to get Holy Renewal, not something we see super often for her, but that will help her with the self-healing, as we've seen for them, the supporting, the healing is one thing that's been very difficult for them in this fight because it is that solo support Brightwing.
Killer Pro taking some damage from Zeratul, but is going to rotate up to the Eye. They're trying to force a fight up here. It is going to be a double Shrine spawn. Deadly Eyes almost getting caught out there. I think Caterpillar was noticing. And then we do see that the first altar is going to be controlled here by Cloud9. It's going to start sieging that middle keep. Bottom keep hasn't really taken any damage. I believe the boss was killed right as it got there.
Cloud9 holding this watchtower means they can see exactly how anybody is trying to engage, but a beautiful gravity lapse. The Sun King's Fury and Thrill's taken out before Ancestral can connect on him, and now they're going after King Caffeine. Dwarf tosses out. Deadly Ice is in the back line, trying to do what he can versus Rhaegar and Falside, who are caught in this Void Prison. Here comes the damage.
Right, but you see the Polymorph perfectly timed onto Rhaegar, and they're going to take him out as well. 2-for-0 exchange in favor of RaccAttack. That's the power of that Brightwing Zeratul. It just secures so many kills with that Polymorph, and that's going to be a 2-for-0 exchange. Boss is up, as well as this the double Shrine. This is a big advantage here for RaccAttack, but will they mess this up? They're sieging on the boss as well as they can. King Caffeine does scout out, see this, that Daily Ass is in the point. Mighty Gust is not up for 20 seconds. I don't think Cloud9 can do anything to contest this.
Yeah, they don't have the Mighty Gust, and that is the big problem. They do have Sundering, but of course Thrall is dead for a couple more seconds, and so that will be a free boss for RaccAttack, and there are still temples to return home to, so even if they don't want to push along with the boss, they can just pick up the temples on the back side of this, finish off that final 4, and start putting damage on the keep towers.
Both shrines being controlled here. Won't be able to get a single keep here. They might be able to get boss with Cloud9's a little bit. No, they should not be able to lose this keep. It'll be pretty healthy with how fast they bring this down. Well, not pretty healthy, but standing. But full level lead is the big story from this for RaccAttack, as they are getting closer and closer to those Storm talents.
Looks like Handlebar's just going to run away. The team's pretty split. Zeratul went back. They've got Brightwing and Kael'thas down in the bottom temple, and they're even leaving it too, realizing that Cloud9 is out for blood, heading back into this, and they're too spread out to be able to try to contest it. They really don't want to give away anything, any of the lead that they've been able to take back. You gotta respect them for that. They got a ton of shots anyway from that temple.
Yeah, this is good damage control on the end of Cloud9. I was expecting them to be a lot further behind than this. They did a great job of soaking multiple lanes. They did a great job of forcing RaccAttack off of that. Nice dodge with the gravity lapse from iDream, and experience is almost evened up here. I love this position from King Caffeine, looking for an aggressive Stormbolt here. They take out this front wall, looking to contest this. If they can get a pick here, this could be a keep for them. But right now, I think it's just going to end up stalling out. Both teams should be able to get themselves level 20 by the time the next altar phase spawns.
Cloud9 also got Johanna to come back too. She was helping these bruisers push, so that's also keeping them from being in all 3 lanes soaking. And they, of course, got the towers too, which has helped them get back into this. As you said, they are level 19. They're behind in experience, but still well on their way to getting their Storm tier balance.
Kel'Thas damage going up as he's hit 16. He's at 30k damage right now on top. I mean, once Kel'Thas does get Sun King's Fury, it's just it's a drastic change in what he can do. Especially with how both Thrall and K1 Pro have been playing. Just very aggressive in the positioning, looking to just min-max their damage as much as possible. You get caught in one gravity lapse, you're going to get chunked really, really hard. So Cloud9 kind of has to adjust how they're approaching this, as if they misstep versus Kel'Thas now, which we've already seen, you're just going to get picked. You're just going to end up snowballing it further for your RaccAttack.
Dang, Indestructible's new art is pretty. Well, what is level 20? Nice. Yeah, it's awesome. There's level 24 RaccAttack. They have the rewind on both Zeratul and Brightwing. So they can have the rewind for double polymorph. They have Bolt of the Storm for Zagara and Master Flames for Kel'Thas. Over on the other side, Cloud9 are starting to pick up their Storm talents. And we're going to see Hunter's Blunderbuss.
Epic Mount picked up as well from Falstad. Rewind on Murden and Rhaegar. No big shockers there.
Yeah.
I feel like Rewind is a little bit better versus the Kel'Thas Chain Bomb spread than Storm Shield. Storm Shield's better for initial AoE burst for Rewind, better for like consistent AoE poke coming at you. But the Shrine's going to be controlled here by RaccAttack here. That middle keep will start taking some serious damage. And Caterpillar getting really low and does get hit by the Ancestral Healing, as well as Mighty Gust was used by K1 Pro. And at 3-man VP, this could be devastating for Cloud9. The Gravity Lapse does not connect with anyone but iDream there. Polymorph goes down onto the Rhaegar as well, and Maw catching out Thrall. This should be a 3-for-0 exchange in favor of RaccAttack. Oh, but the Gravity Lapse misses. If that Gravity Lapse from Dunsky would have hit, that would have been a dead Caterpillar. And they get a turnaround kill onto Zeratul.
Deadly Ice was low and very far forward, and with that bolt, they were right in position to get that kill on Zeratul. But man, they have done such a good job of being able to time out the Void Prison and the Devouring Maws to make sure that they're doing. This is something that we talked about even before in the draft. They have a problem with their composition with the solo support Brightwing. It's scary for her to try to be able to heal all of them back up, but if they could separate the members of Cloud9 and get kills that way, and they have done such a great job with that too. The Void Prisons have been on point, Gravity Lapse follow-ups, weren't able to help get the Thrall kill, but they did get the kill on iDream still. They're still going to try to contest this though. No more kills yet, and the tempo does finish.
Yeah, all those shots going over to RaccAttack here. They did get the middle keep. Bottom keep took some damage. Top keep, little bit of damage. Cloud9 not out of this yet, though. Still up 8 kills to 4. And Cloud9, surprisingly, they keep losing these exchanges, but they're trading as well as they can. Trading up a bit when it comes to, being down 3 versus 5. They get a pick on Zeratul for contesting that as well as they could, trying to just catch anyone in opposition. That's the power of this guy of this team, is that they're so aggressive when they shouldn't be. And if you're not used to that, if you don't know how to play, in a situation where all it takes is one misstep and 3 members are going to get a pick, that could be devastating. But they did a good job. They had great positioning. They ended up holding the point, and they got a keep out of it. So RaccAttack is in a solid spot. Take a look at the heroics. Gilly, everything is back up.
Yep, there's the Mighty Gust too, which will likely influence if they get into a fight over this boss. But they are going for the fight first. A double Gravity Lapse hits 2 members, and Caterpillar, again, has to get Ancestral Healing at the beginning of the fight.
Yeah, I don't know about that Ancestral. There's a few things you can do to prevent having to use a big 90-second heroic like that. You cleanse the CC, and then you use Rewind instead. I don't know if Ancestral was needed there, and now that is a huge loss for Cloud9 there, as the boss is being contested in a double shrine. It's spawning 70 seconds until Ancestral's back up, Gilly.
Yeah, and Mighty Gust was used too, and RaccAttack realized that, but still, with the temple phase starting soon, 2 temples, the boss is available. There's a lot of different ways to win this, but with them already winning structurally, I like that they're just wanting to go for the temples instead. They have all of their heroics up a lot sooner, and the big heroics, Void Prison, Devouring Maw, were not used like Ancestral was.
Cloud9 has to get on this point, as they're about to lose both of their last standing keeps. They have to contest soon. And Cloud9 just seems very, very afraid to do that. iDream caught in a Gravity Lapse again, Sundering having to be used. Rhaegar just a little bit too far away, so wasn't able to preemptively cleanse that. King Caffeine going deep onto Dansky. There goes, finally K1 Pro shows up to the fight. He's going to try and kill Dansky in the back. Gets hit by that polymorph, though, and is getting taken out by himself. And K1 Pro is going to be the first to fall in this fight, and Deadly Eye's getting a 3-man VP. The Banelings coming inside of this. Will they end up going down the double grab?
Oh my gosh.
That beautiful combo coming out from RaccAttack, and Cloud9 loses Rhaegar as well. King Caffeine, the only standing member, gonna get hit by a maul to save Dansky's life, and if Cloud9 loses King Caffeine, I mean, even without him losing him, this should be game, Gilly.
That'll be game. RaccAttack take game number 2 off of Cloud9. We go to game 3. The GGs come out, and what amazing synergy from RaccAttack to be able to not only combo off and get those kills, but keep Dansky alive. When he was so low, they were focusing so much on trying to take out Kael'thas that they had Zeratul in their back line doing massive amounts of damage. Just great play from RaccAttack that game.
Yeah, I mean, the isolation with the ults where someone would always be in a VP, someone would always be in a Maw, that allowed Brightwing to maximize the minimum resources she has in her kit to help secure kills, as well as keep people alive. As well as, I feel that Rhaegar just was never in the right place at the right time. There was always a situation where the start of every fight started with Kael'thas just chunking a target. Dunk Train was never in position to preemptively cleanse a Gravity Lapse, to get an early chain heal off. It was always them having to use Bolt of the Storm, use Gust, and then use Ancestral just to keep one target alive, just because Dunk Train's positioning was just a little bit off. That was just really poor on Cloud9's end for that.
Well, that means that we'll be going to game number 3, but we're going to take a break before we do that. So we will see you guys soon. All right, we are back, guys, for game number 3 between Cloud9 and RaccAttack, and we'll be starting the draft pretty soon on my favorite battleground, Battlefield of Eternity. That's twice we've gotten to see it. I'm pretty pumped. You are muted.
Yeah. Per use. Per use.
So we're looking at Battlefield. We had Tyrande and Tassadar bans to start things off in the last game. Okay, I thought I was going crazy. And we had a Tyrande ban in the last Battlefield game we saw, so we'll see if they're still wanting to prioritize banning her. I did not write down if that was RaccAttack or if that was OVO who banned Tyrande. Because one had banned Tyrande and one had banned Sylvanas. But Hunter's Mark is so strong on Battlefield of Eternity.
Oh, the draft started. No, it didn't.
Mm-mm. Don't worry, buddy. You okay?
Yeah, my headset's hurting my ears.
Is it because it's a headset on over a hat?
Yeah.
Well, if you want, you can not wear the hat.
I can't do that. I'm committed to the hat at this point.
Yeah. You committed to the hat the minute you put it on wet hair. We're waiting for the guys to start the draft. Should be soon. One team is already ready up to start it. And that is RaccAttack.
RaccAttack!
So, what do they need to do to take out Cloud9 here in this last game? Ban Tyrande again versus them? Get Kael'thas again? They had Kael'thas in the first game.
I don't think banning Kael'thas on this map is really that big of a deal.
No, I was saying get him, like first pick him again.
Oh, no, not on this map. Battlefield. Early game wins.
Somebody first picked him in the first series, though.
And
on
they
Battlefield.
lost.
So it was OVO who first picked it?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
I think RaccAttack was the one with the early game comp and they won. OVO had late game. And they lost.
Alright.
I think so. Those games are a blur.
I know, and I didn't have my piece of paper then to write down drafts, so I didn't get the drafts for the
Noise!
first game.
Noise!
Sorry. Thought we'd be starting the draft soon. You readied up? Or we saw one team readied up. I like how the teams are coordinating their portraits now. You see this gloriousness?
Yes.
It's good stuff.
Yes.
Cloud9!
Cloud9 with the Master Skin Falstad portrait.
It's draft time. Everybody's Falstad today.
Yeah, but only one team is the level 9 Falstad team. And they lost with that Falstad that game too, ironically. One team's running Pleb Falstad portraits, other team's running Gosu Falstad portraits, and the team running Gosu Falstad portrait picked Falstad and lost with Falstad. Get wrecked.
How many times can you say Falstad in a sentence?
Not anymore, because it's Battlefield of Eternity and the draft has begun.
Okay. That was a great face that you made. Cloud9 banning Zeratul. They are done. With those VPs. Deadly Ice doing a lot. And they are going to ban the Tyrande.
Yeah, I mean, Tyrande is so good on this map. Hunter's Mark on the Immortal. It doesn't matter what comp you get with Tyrande, right? Because she fits into, like, most compositions. It's just great. Cloud9, of course, we talked about it before. Tassadar, highly prioritized. And then RaccAttack going for the Kael'thas again. You saw him make him work on Sky Temple. See if they can make it work here. Cloud9's got the world of options available, though. Will we see the Tracer again?
Yeah, I don't know. With the Tassadar, though, that's definitely a possibility. And it worked for them very well on Towers of Doom in game number 1.
Talk about how Illidan's just been uncontested this entire day.
Yeah, it's so weird.
NA, man, you guys blow my mind.
Especially since we were casting Gold League all last weekend. It was like, Illidan ban, Illidan ban, Illidan ban.
Well, even in Super League, even in Europe, like literally everywhere is Illidan bans and picks. And NA is just like... bleh.
Tassadar. It's all about that task. All right, so RaccAttack have picked up Murden, which means they could be looking at banning an ETC out. If that's something that Cloud9 really wants, we could see them pick that up here. They could also prioritize their second support and then ban more supports in their phase. And then there's always damage to consider, because as Battlefield of Eternity, you really want to make sure you have heroes who can burn through the Immortals' health bars whenever you get the chance. Think something like Greymane.
They are hovering it. We'll see if they do lock it in. Using a lot of their time pool to discuss this, and there it is. The Greymane is picked up. Next pick for Cloud9. A little bit more damage on their side, more than likely. Unless they feel like they need to go to ETC here. Or the Rhaegar. I feel like, though, with the Tassadar pickup, you don't necessarily have to pick up Rhaegar or Uther here.
Yeah.
You can play with any support with the Tassadar. You can go Kharazim, Brightwing, Mouth.
Mm-hmm. And especially with Sharonda banned, too. They have that option. But they are going to go for Uther, wanting to make sure that they have the Divine Shield available to bail Greymane out of trouble. Should I Dream find himself in it.
This is the carry the Greymane composition.
If we get a Tyrael, that'd be crazy.
I mean, only 2 teams in NA have ever consistently run Tyrael at any point, and that was both Naventic and this team.
Mm-hmm. Last week, Astral Authority ran him too, doing the Baby the Greymane style that we saw E-Star doing in Gold League, but with the Butcher. So, Baby the Butcher, which is never something you would think that you would hear. Here's the ETC ban from RaccAttack. Do we see Rhaegar here? Do we see some damage? Yeah,
gotta ban the Rhaegar. With no pseudo supports up, banning the Rhaegar is a must-do in this situation. They're going to be on solo support, Kharazim, solo support, Brightwing, whatever they decide to go with. More than likely will be the Kharazim, though, on this map. Kharazim's good at the Immortals with the additional damage he does. Next 2 picks here for RaccAttack. A lot of damage on the table. Sylvanas is still up.
I think we're going to still see Zagara from them. Oh, but there's...
I don't think it's on this map. Zagara's not necessarily bad versus the Immortals.
They picked her last time.
On this map? They picked Zag?
Yeah, they picked her like nearly every map. I'm pretty sure. There is Sylvie.
This is a great comp from RaccAttack.
Yeah. Good at, they've got a lot of crowd control if they're going to get into the team fights. They obviously have Sylvanas if they win the objectives. They have good damage for the objectives. It's great all around. I'm wondering what support they'll add to it. If it'll be Brightwing, solo Brightwing again. Or if they'll maybe go Kharazim here. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Cloud9 with their next 2 pickups here. Gonna be the Anubarak. Not too surprised by that. They need another range damage, though. Raynor and Vala are both up. Doubt we'll see Raynor on this map. So you're never going to get Seasoned Marksman ever on this map. Unless it goes like 30 minutes, and even then. Not very likely. Maybe double Warrior, but then you're just... With Greymane Tassadar, you need a powerful range damage dealer.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Li Ming is still up too.
Oh, Li Ming. I forgot about Li Ming.
Yeah.
I completely just brain farted on her this entire draft.
That was interesting phrasing.
Excuse me?
Well, there's Li Ming, RaccAttack. Who will their support be? Yeah, they're looking at the Brightwing again. I think that this comes down more to comfort than anything else.
Yeah, has to. It worked on Sky Temple very well because of the zoning materials they had with Ma and VP.
Yeah, they don't have that.
They don't really have that. But they have a lot of punish. If they could catch anyone in a gravity lapse, Murden stun, there's enough CC to follow up. You got 4 heroes with a hard CC, Thrall, Brightwing, Murden, and Kael Foss. So if they can catch someone, they have a lot of bursts and a lot of CC, but they're also against double support, Uther Tassadar.
Right, exactly.
They also have a lot of peel with Force Wall and Anubarak. I'm expecting it to be Cocoon. I mean, what do you do if you cocoon someone? You don't have cleanse. Brightwings don't go cleanse. If you're
Yeah.
gonna go cleanse, you don't play Brightwing. I don't. I like this Cloud9 draft.
Yeah,
I think
me
they
too.
won it.
We would see occasionally a new Brack on Battlefield of Eternity before he was buffed, too. I remember a set where you and I cast, where Cloud9 picked him, I think both games, and one of them was Battlefield of Eternity. It was either them or Naventic. But we're about to get into this game. It will be game number 3. The winner of this... Look at that face. It's the face of a legend. The winner of this goes into the winner's bracket finals, and that is the first qualification match. They will face the winner of Hot Dog Burglars versus Tempo Storm. I don't know that we have an update on that one.
It is 1-0 Hot Dog Burglars.
All right. So that's the first qualification match. The second one is going through the lower bracket and the winner of the lower bracket finals. Of course, we won't play the finals since there's 2 teams that get to qualify through this. We will get all the way up to that point. Dunk Train is on a bio break. Zoya, how you been doing this week?
I be doing. What's up with you, dog?
Traveling. Trying to catch up on sleep.
Nice. Heard you caught up on shows rather this week too.
I did. I gave myself a much needed day off. That was amazing.
Nice.
I went to a birthday party.
Nice.
It was yours, according to J-How. But it was actually my friend's, and it was fun. I hope somebody screenshotted that. Let's see. How do you get that Dr. Pepper out of my fridge? It's time.
They forgot to tell the players they were ready. So we've just been sitting here. I don't know if they're actually ready though.
They're on a bio break.
Dunk is. You don't know about the rest of them.
There he is. He's ready. He's ready. Let's go.
Another draft
Updates.
where Illidan's uncontested. It just.
Blowing our mind. Updates on the lower bracket, by the way. Team Blaze has eliminated Brawls Deep from this event, and they will face. Let me see if I can figure out.
Winner
how
of
this works.
Psystorm Gaming and OVO Gaming.
Nope, they will face the loser.
That's right.
of
You're right.
either this match or Hot Dog Burglars and Tempo Storm. I can't tell how they go down to the lower bracket, but
You are correct.
thank you. You're cutting your face off with your stretches. Here we go, guys, in game number 3 of this best of 3. We've had 3-game series all day so far. In the blue is RaccAttack with Handlebars playing Muradin. Panda Grape again on Brightwing. Deadly Ice playing Thrall. Dansky, of course, playing Kale Thos, and Zugrug will be on Sylvanas.
And on the right, in the red, it is Cloud9. K1 Pro on the Li Ming, I Dream on Greymang, King Caffeine on an Uberak, Caterpillar playing Tassadar, and Dunk Train playing the Uther, and of course, we have applause.
I think we should just... We'll give it a minute, and then we're going to wait it out. But he's going to inevitably restart his router again. It's going to be another 10 minutes, probably. I definitely understand, though, wanting to make sure Dansky can play to his best. He has been one of the really pivotal players for the team. And they're potentially about to, win a series over Cloud9. It's definitely understandable. It just obviously sucks for us. Are you balancing? All right, he's left the game, guys, so we're going to go to a break. We'll play you some music. We'll hang out and chat with you, and then we'll be back just as soon as the game starts. Alright guys, we're back in the game. It has started, and here we go. For those of you who might be... Are you observing?
Sure.
Is your cam moving?
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Got it. Okay. Those of you might be forgetting, this is RaccAttack versus Cloud9, game number 3. RaccAttack winning the last game on Sky Temple. And we are in Battlefield of Eternity. It was RaccAttack's battleground choice. Here we go, Zoya.
Here we go. One more time.
Everybody's... Okay, we're done. You abandoned me!
What do you mean?
I was gonna keep going with the song.
Yeah, but I wasn't expecting to sing the whole thing,
Oh, okay.
so I wasn't prepared. I'm sorry.
That's alright.
Here we go now.
Yes. Here's the game, guys. We are about to get into the first immortal phase. It's Thrall versus Tassadar. What?
Nothing. I'm just sorry about everything.
For some reason, your mic is like really quiet.
Nice. Let me fix that, maybe.
Okay. You must have moved it while you had a snack during the break.
Yeah, we can call it that.
Or your lunch, right?
Yeah, my lunch.
Looking at level 1 for Sylvanas, he picked up Paralysis. So if they can win that immortal phase, you can more safely be able to shut down the structures without constantly compromising your positioning, because it does increase the duration of Black Arrows by 75%. But speaking of immortals, we have the first phase starting. Let's see what these teams decide to do with it.
Looks like they're going to be aggressive here. RaccAttack. Zugrat getting very low already. Dansky getting caught out of position, and it's going to be the first blood of this game.
Yeah, that was a perfect collapse by Cloud9 on him, and that means a few seconds without kill. Thus, you're seeing iDream continue to rotate up and start damaging Ilarion. Now they're going to try to still defend off of this. They hit a stun on iDream, but with that double support, he already has the Tassadar shielding to help out. Zugrat will be yet another kill.
Yep, nice kills there from Cloud9, just showing you the aggressiveness of their composition, even whether they're under their opponents or under their own. As Nocturne does get stunned, or that was Caterpillar getting stunned. They're going to go ahead and rotate back out, and are in a great position here as the spawns are aggressive, and they should be able to burn this down pretty hard.
Now they're going to be able to get this, have a pretty well-shielded Immortal too for that first phase, and get at least make sure that they can get the damage done to take out the towers and the gate, maybe even put some further damage on the fort. As here comes Belith, about to slam down. And Dunktrain will be there to make sure he can get the globes and start working on his Conjurer Pursuit.
Level 4 here for both teams. We'll see how much damage this Immortal can do. First Immortal without a Sylvanas, not going to get too much value. Probably the front wall, and that's about it.
I'm surprised we still see a lot of globe talents getting picked up here on this battleground, even considering, is it just because there's nothing else very good there?
Yeah.
Alright.
Even though you don't get many globes, I mean, it's not the end of the world. You still get the base effect of the globe regen, which is important.
Yeah,
you're not going to be able to finish the quest, so it's like no different. Like you can't look at the new globe talents as quests anymore. Like they were good before, right? They just added the quest onto them, so.
They did, but didn't they reduce them?
Yeah,
in addition, a little bit? Okay, but it's still more viable than, say, getting Reach at level 1 for Uther?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, both teams have picked up their level 4 talents too. Cloud9 with that siege they had are ahead in experience, but it's not anything too big for RaccAttack to have to deal with at this point. Both are just going to be trying to get more presence in lane. Of course, mercenary camps if they can too as we get closer to the Immortal phase, those Bruiser mercenaries. And then level 7 for the next Immortal fight.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Level 7 is a big tier for Tassadar. allows you know, just trade more aggressively with the Kala's Embrace. Allows you to just kind of go for poke and not be worried that you're just going to lose a chunk of your health because you still have those shields from before. And we'll see here how RaccAttack wants to play this one. They got aggressive with the first one, despite Brightwing's heals not being the best. At level 7 you get Phase Shield, which is our first power spike. We'll see if that changes anything with this next Mortal Phase.
There is the 7, and we've got a cleanse for Uther to help out with the vast amounts of crowd control options that RaccAttack have between Feral Spirit, Gravity Lapse, there's a Polymorph too, and then, of course, stuns from Muradin. Level 7 now being grabbed, and it is the Phase Shield. And we're seeing the Gravity Crush too, so it's not the Sunfire enchantment build that we see more in Asia to increase his auto attack damage. Especially, you would see it a lot on this battleground too. But still, just wanting to make sure that they can have that bonus damage versus the Gravity Lapse targets to try to blow somebody up.
Idrim taking a lot of poke here, as well as taking some damage here, but they do catch Kael'thas out of position here. The body blocks are there, Gravity Lapse comes out, but doesn't matter. And the worst time to potentially die, Dunsky is going to go down, but they still got a lot of damage onto that Immortal. Now Caterpillar, Caffeine, Ducktrain, and K1 Pro are going to be aggressively zoning, while Idrim in Greymane mode, or Worgen mode, is going to be working on their opponents, and they should be able to win this out with this positioning here. They might need to have Li Ming rotate over, but looking like they're happy with just Idrim over there.
Did you mean to call Dansky Dunsky after he died?
Maybe.
I like it. Well, they're going to move and rotate all the way around to get to that halfway point. They have some well taps available, and we see them moving back to use it, making sure that they have mana available for the next fight. They know everyone's going to be back in. Respawn timers still are pretty low for anybody who dies.
Cloud9 looking to aggress here as RaccAttack going to be in the defensive position here. Nice double Gravity Lapse going out, and a lot of damage going down onto Caterpillar, but he is going to end up surviving it. So it's just the power of that double support style, and Cloud9 trying to find the angle that they want to engage at here. Idrim going to be soaking that lane, making that maintain that experience lead.
What I love is the positioning for this battleground. There's a lot of hallways, and you're already seeing a little bit from King Caffeine, but the minute they get a stun on somebody, especially if it's somebody squishy like Kael'thas, he burrow charges underneath them to come up to add to the body blocking, and that's been very effective for them whenever they've been in a fight. So it just makes RaccAttack really have to think about where they're going to be standing and where Kael'thas and those squishy heroes specifically are standing in those fights. But he's caught once again Tassadar in a Gravity Lapse. Caterpillar will stay alive, and Peekaboo giving vision again to the team of RaccAttack.
Great poke from K1, and he's slowly been whittling down Zugrub this entire time, and you're seeing that trait from Pandagrave is just not enough to keep this up. And this is a pretty powerful Immortal here for Cloud9 as they're just going to finish this off, this poke. You know, it took a while, but Caterpillar and K1 Pro were able to slowly whittle it down, and now they've got a pretty healthy Immortal pushing that top lane.
Yeah, the poke was so good because people were trying to maybe soak those Li Ming abilities, but either way it's a win-win, right? You either bring down the members of this team with the solo support Brightwing who can't really keep up with that damage that Li Ming and Greymane are putting out, or you run away and then, hey, you get an Immortal. So it's a win-win for Cloud9 now, and as you mentioned, a well-shielded Immortal that they can start throwing damage down. Idrim was even pushing in to that bottom fort too, since it was so low, now allowing the minions to get right on top of that structure and hopefully for them finish it off.
See that the fort is getting sieged here. It looks like this should definitely go down. Could be a double fort situation. At least it'll be easy to get. Bro charge used onto Pandagrave here. Does not have blink kill. Will not be able to get phase shift out. That's going to be a kill on the Brightwing. 4 kills to 0. And Cloud9 just showing you the power of this double support composition. Ducktrain and Caterpillar are able to keep everyone alive for such a long time.
Yeah, the double support, and then with the Anubarak too. That time, not only do we see King Caffeine burrow charge in underneath the target that they found, but they have Force Wall too. So the minute that they find somebody, they will make sure to be able to isolate them away from the team. And that, once they have Blink Heal now for Brightwing, it won't be as easy to use on her at least. They've been able to pick that up, but there are still plenty of targets that they can catch out with that.
We'll try and take this Merc camp down here. Heroics looking pretty normal across the board.
Cocoon again.
Yeah, I'll let you say it because I would have messed it up. Per usual.
I got it. Yeah. You got it the first time. It's a transition.
One step at a time. One Baby steps. Well, bottom port about to go down here, and that will give Cloud9 essentially level 12, getting them closer to that 13 tier. Siege Camp pushing that top lane at the same time, so they'll start getting value on that keep if it's not contested, and actually Thrall did end up rotating up. Cloud9 looking to get aggressive here, knowing that Thrall's in the top. We saw King Caffeine moving forward, looking for the cocoon. But they're going to go ahead and back out of here, and they do get themselves level 12 versus the soon-to-be level 11 of RaccAttack. And if RaccAttack can somehow... They need to either get a pick or just not lose a keep for 16. If they can get to 16 and have Kael'thas be a powerhouse, they're still very much in this game. They just can't lose a keep before then.
Well, that's going to be tough for them because they've lost both of the immortals that have happened so far, and that means that they're down to just their keep structures. And with a full level lead, Cloud9 is going to have... going to be close or getting their 13 much sooner as long as they can continue this on. But there is some time that they could try to find a pick, and you see the gravity lapse going out. They're looking for it during this window of time.
Burrow Charge was used on Handlebars, but he's going to be just fine being the tanky dwarf Muradin. Half level to go until King Caffeine or till Cloud9 is level 13. As this immortal is spawning, and it does spawn in the defensive positions here. We'll see how Cloud9 wants to siege this. They might end up just stalling this out, sending people to waves. So the problem is, they're so far pushed in. Bruiser Camp's all the way back here. Their bottom lane. It looks like Dunk Train or Caterpillar will be able to go get that. And that's what Caterpillar's doing. He's just trying to get his team level 13.
Yeah, he's already got shields set up on K1 Pro. And Greymane is up in the top, trying to dissuade Sylvanas from taking out those bruisers too. And they are almost there. They're going to have 13, and that's when they can fully go in and siege. And they've already been doing a good job between the Beetles and K1 Pro's damage of being able to start sieging down that immortal. But King Caffeine takes so much damage. Handlebars jumps in, and before they can really get all back together, RaccAttack has taken out one member. The Wailing Arrow comes down too, and they've pushed Cloud9 away.
Push Cloud9 away, but it's still 13 versus 12, and if K1 Pro gets some mana, they might be able to defend this with just the defensive positioning here. Caterpillar comes up, they're starting to poke down. iDream avoids the gravity lapse here, has to be careful, can't get hit by a Stormbolt or a Feral Spirit, and they do end up striking. Nice force wall. Again, this is just stalling until Caffeine is up. They're doing a great job of that. And now K1 Pro does have mana, he's starting to poke down Handlebars, and despite losing to death, Cloud9 with the defensive positioning were able to stall this out and get wait until King Caffeine was back up. They still have 13 versus 12 as well.
King Caffeine's on his way, and they've rotated to be able to take out Ilarion to halfway. Now K1 Pro is backing. He's out of mana, and so is Caterpillar. They want to be fully ready for this next halfway through into the Immortal phase, but also if they could get the Immortal quickly so that they can continue to push on with that Immortal and try to get the keep. But 13 is here for RaccAttack. They're about to pick that up, and that will at least help them try once again to push Cloud9 off of their Immortal.
I don't think RaccAttack was aware that K1 Pro and Caterpillar ended up backing, as they probably could have gotten a really big head start on the Immortal, and actually probably would have won it out with Cattle and Li Ming back, but they were not aware that they had left. And this is a bad situation for RaccAttack to be in, as this is just free siege for K1 Pro and Caterpillar. They're slowly storming it down. K1 Pro keeps going into these little nooks there. Gravity Lapse does not end up protecting. Big Bro charge in. They catch Panagrape, but no one else. Li Ming coming out, and Panagrape's just barely going to survive, but he has to back out. Cocoon was used onto Dansky. Trying to back out. Gravity Lapse hits two people. Nice burst onto them, but it looks like Cloud9 should win this fight.
Now, the Gravity Lapse was good, but they nearly lost two people, and they were so low in health that they didn't have any follow-up to try to go back in there, and that just goes back to the fact that Li Ming and Greymane were basically unchecked for so long. A Divine Shield hits iDream, and he goes after two of the members. Still no kills yet on either side, and with low health bars, everyone's just going to disengage.
Should be pushing bottom keep. They don't really have, great pushing here. They don't have like Sylvanas, Zagara, Zul, so I don't think this Immortal will get much more than the front wall. We'll see what Cloud9 can do with it. They'll need a pick if they want to get some serious value here. They are rotating down, but it's only iDream and Caterpillar here first, just to help get this a little bit more value. Caterpillar are going to be storming the wave just to get the minion wave there as fast as possible. Shield still standing, front wall's falling very quickly. Force wall catching Handlebars there, not forcing the dwarf off though. They does end up using it, so that is down. Cloud9 going to be looking for a pick potentially. But the Immortal's already lost all its shields, Gilly. It's going in for this keep. Let's see what Cloud9 can do with this. It's taking some damage, but they're playing so safe with this. They don't have a significant advantage, and they don't want to throw right now.
Yeah, their Cocoon has already been used too. We saw the Force Wall earlier, but they could potentially Force Wall Handlebars away from this team once again, and they are going to do that. Hit him with Hammer of Justice, and that keep is so close to down. iDream going in to be able to finish it off in the fight. may start to go down. Shrink Ray is used on Deadly Ice, a great force wall to let Cloud9 get away unscathed and able to grab the keep.
I'm really, really surprised Cloud9 was able to get that.
Yeah, me too.
I did not expect them to get that keep, but that's a very early keep here based off the state of the game. Cloud9 up only a single level, 15 to 14, but they've got this huge advantage where now they're still standing in structures. Only top fort is exposed, bottom fort still extremely healthy. You know, they got the first keep of the game, and the next Immortal of Cloud9 wins it. That's going for another keep, Gilly.
Yeah, once again, we find ourselves in the situation where a team prioritizes having Sylvanas, but can't win the objective with it. And that's been a problem, and that's something that we have seen. You know, if they can win the objectives, then obviously she's going to do so much. That happened in that Infernal Shrines game. They finally won one and took so much down with it. But if you can't do it, then the whole idea of having her for that siege is just, it's not there. And now they're down a keep, they're down a full level with Cloud9 about to get 16, and the Immortal phase will be starting very soon.
Level 16 almost here for Cloud9. We'll see what they plan on doing with this aggression. Still so far to go. Nice job from Pandagrave avoiding the potential damage here. And I like this from Cloud9, just helping this push in a little bit harder. They're not going to actually siege it down, but this just makes them get that Immortal even more value. Force Wall going to catch handlebars there, not forcing the Dwarf Toss. They're going to go ahead and back up. Force Wall is on this spawn, and still a half level till 16. Cloud9's in a fantastic spot, and they get the jump onto the Immortals.
They almost rotated in time to steal away the Bruisers, and that would have been Bruisers heading toward core, and it would have made it RaccAttack even later to the party and being able to stop this. They've got some people here, but they still don't have 16. You can see Sylvanas in the bottom lane helping those Bruisers along, trying to do some structural damage to get them back on the same talent tier. But how much damage will they take in that time?
They're already losing a lot of health on their Immortal, and they've done no damage to Cloud9's Immortal, which is terrifying for them. If Cloud9 gets a full health Immortal, that will probably be game. They're starting to siege it down. Good poke going out onto Dansky from K1 Pro. Just not afraid to just constantly be lobbing out his spells, and he's getting good trades with it. Most of the arcane missiles are always hitting. He's getting value out of every one of the orbs as well. And this Immortal's about to be forced to swap. Sylvanas is rotating up, and once Cloud9 sees that, they were going to be a little bit more aggressive onto this point. And good zoning from handlebars as well to just block as many of K1 Pro's shots as possible.
Yeah,
Sylvanas is starting to get some value, but is it going to be enough?
He needed to use Stone Form after taking a big orb to the face, as he's going to get that there. The Disintegrate coming out. They're just trying to get to the halfway point. King Caffeine is going in with the Burrow Charge. Divine Shield has been used to allow iDream to start throwing on Greymane damage. A Cocoon has hit, and Handlebars is trying to bust his friend out, but has to Dwarf Toss away as he's getting very low. Again, another giant orb from K1 Pro. Spells disaster for RaccAttack as they're taking so much damage that Brightwing is having trouble keeping up with, and they've forced the swap.
Well, they held, and that's what matters, is they held that push. Really great job there from RaccAttack. They have 16 now. They're not so far in behind in HP that it's unwinnable here. So, you know, they're in a decent spot. They came out really good in that exchange. Both teams having all heroics down, except for Disintegrate and Force Wall, of course, as those are very short cooldowns here. But now Cloud9's on the defensive position. And
they are mostly that because of the positions of where they're at, right? It's pretty tough to try to siege all the way into your opponent's side of the battleground there. Fighting underneath it already is scary enough, but if they can get a pick somewhere around here, then they can do that.
That was a great Force Wall on the Burrow Charge. Unfortunately, the rest of Cloud9 wasn't ready for that. Could have gotten a lot of value if they were ready to go in, but they're playing this a little bit more safe here. They need to get the engage they're looking for. The Gravity Lapse does not end up connecting. The nice spikes from King Caffeine to force them to disengage here. And finally, Cloud9 is able to bully RaccAttack back. They had a great vision. Oh my gosh, Sylvanas almost going down.
But she gets away. She uses Will of the Forsaken, and K1 Pro is very low on mana too, struggling to try to keep up with this long engagement that's taking place. Divine Shield is used, and iDream is trying to use it to get back into the fight. Cocoon was hit on Deadly Ice, and still the orbs and the missiles from K1 Pro are finding homes in either the members of RaccAttack or the Immortal, but they're going to have to go and tap. They're all very low on mana.
Yeah, still advantage of Cloud9, and I don't think they mind how long this takes as long as they end up winning in the long run. RaccAttack needs to start getting something done here, though. They've got catapults pushing their core. You know, the longer this goes on, the more and more Cloud9 is getting closer to 20. Handlebars getting teleported by Panda Grape just to get the vision out there so they can see where everyone on Cloud9 is. And looks like Cloud9's looking to get aggressive here as King Caffeine's rotating up. Zugrug taking a lot of damage. Spike's hitting Brightwing. And again, Cloud9 is forcing them out of this aggressive positioning and into a defensive posture.
Forced out Avatar has been used too, and they take more orb damage, but they're staying alive through a lot of this. And Divine Shield is still not up if they could just put some damage down themselves. But once again, they have been pushed back onto their Immortal, and that's the perfect place where Cloud9 wants to have them. They're okay with not getting into a fight as long as K1 Pro can move off to the side and throw more damage onto the Immortals. And now it's getting very close to a situation where we're going to have another Cloud9 Immortal.
Really, really great job from Zugrug, I have to say, with those Will of the Forsaken timings. He has saved his own life several times by using that at the proper time there. Dwarf Toss Stormbolt was used, does not end up connecting with K1. Keep in mind, K1 is getting very low on mana, but that Immortal is a tickle away from death. We'll see if they can go ahead and close that out. Again, RaccAttack is forcing Cloud9 back into this defensive positioning. But this might be... we do see Benediction was actually popped here by Duntrain to top off his teammates there. He's looking for potential aggression here. K1 Pro did tap well, does have mana, gets a nice combo into Deadly Ice and Dansky. And this flank from Caterpillar with that Force Wall was perfect. And at the same time, they did get the Immortal Gilly.
Yeah, Caterpillar flanked all the way to the side and was able to get the Immortal through the Force Wall. Nobody died, so they still have all 5 members up for this defense, and I cannot believe how long that fight went on for this Immortal. That was insane.
That was crazy. They kept it up though.
They did.
It comes down to patience in that situation. Cloud9 knows they'll win the war in the long run, and they were able to slowly whittle that down with him and Caterpillar just slowly seeing it down. This is going to be a great defense though from RaccAttack here. As the Immortal's already half HP. They might not lose this keep here. They have to be careful from the K1 poke though.
Yeah, they did soak up some of the damage there, and wow, with that orb and magic missiles, again, they can siege down the keep, and no keeps remaining now for RaccAttack. Cloud9 a full level ahead and heading toward their Storm Talents. And things just got a lot tougher, for sure, for RaccAttack.
Yeah. Take a look at the hero damage this game. I mean, Leeming is insanely far ahead at 85,000, and that's just from how K1 Pro's been playing it, just this constant. Well, you're either going to let me hit your Immortal, or I'm going to hit you instead. And, you know, Murden was doing the best he can to soak a lot of the damage he can. If this was a different composition, RaccAttack might have actually won out in that war. But it's solo support Brightwing. And it helps in the sense that a lot of her heals don't come from mana. It's just her trait. She gets the blink kill for a little bit of burst healing, so that keeps it going. But maybe if they had duo support, they would be able to kind of turn that aggression around. We do see that they're potentially going for an invade here, but Cloud9 was not there.
I'm surprised they didn't want to steal it. They really just wanted to find kills. But they know that they're behind, and they need to get kills right now before Cloud9 gets to 20. Pretty low death game between these two teams. Only 1 kill for RaccAttack, but only 4 for Cloud9 too. You're playing very patiently, really focusing on the objective, and just constant poke from both.
Well, I don't think it matters what the HP of this next Immortal is. If Cloud9 wins it, that should be game. An Immortal at 23 minutes going straight on the core will be able to close it out if multiple members of Cloud9 are there with it to just siege the core down. So RaccAttack here in a very scary position. But fortunately for them, it's not over yet. They're still on the same talent tier, not for very long. They're doing the best they can to even this up. But they're clearing waves right now as these Immortals spawn, and Cloud9 is going to get a huge head start.
Well, they had to because they're mercenary camps. They're going to push up to the core, but yeah, positionally, this gives a big advantage to Cloud9 as they were already set up. Here comes RaccAttack in. They're going for the fight. They're fighting underneath the Immortal of Cloud9, and Cocoon has been used. Handlebars is going to bust Dansky back out, but oh, beautiful! King Caffeine, as soon as it was done, burrow charged and impaled in, and they got 2 quick kills off of that. That was such an awesome bait. Oh my gosh, that was so awesome.
Zugrug and Panda Grape probably going to be able to get out of here. He's using the teleport. Leeming, will he get the kill? No! He just barely gets back. Panda Grape somehow surviving. Cloud9, they do leave Greymane on the Immortal. Can't lose King Caffeine here. Potentially they were looking to end. If they would have killed Brightwing there, They definitely could have ended, but they're going for the safe option. I like that. They're just going to get themselves a healthy Immortal. Like I said, even if it had no shields, it would be enough to win them the game. So they're just making sure, well, why not just get a super shielded one and kind of guarantee the win that way.
Yep, they've picked up 20 now, too. They've got Talrasha's Elements for Li Ming. Hardened Shield will help Anubrak, and we've got Redemption for Uther. Hunter's Blunderbuss for more damage, more area damage for Greymane. So now, RaccAttack, they really need those 20s. They gotta get out here. They really need to get some picks, I would say, too. Before this Immortal gets to their core, they've got to get some kills so that it's not all 5 people and the Immortal.
I don't know what matters at this point, Gilly.
Yeah,
Even if they got
it's
a
so
Wi-Fi
shielded.
now, this is a super shielded Immortal there. Look at its HP. That's just so tough to kill with. They're trying to force the fight, though, but Cloud9 with a great disengage is going to be just fine. Great poke from K1 Pro with trying to back there, and that's not going to happen. They're just trying to stall us out as much as they can here as, I mean, look at the lanes, Gilly. 2 waves of catapults at core already. They're starting on the Immortal as fast as they can, but it looks like Cloud9 has done it. 25-minute game, 6 kills to 1. Not a very kill-intensive game, as both teams were just kind of forced into the siege where Dansky's going to go down.
Wailing Arrow will come out. There goes Zugrug, but the Immortal finishes off the minions before the core, and it was already down to no shields thanks to those catapults. And that will be it. Cloud9 moves on to the next phase of the tournament. The final match standing between them and qualification, the winners bracket finals. And let's see who they will face there. Hot Dog Burglars and Tempo Storm were 1-1 the last time I checked. Looks like they still might be in game.
They're still in game based off of
All right.
what I'm watching on J-House stream. But Temple Storm is up 22-6 in core HP, and a double shrine just spawned with 3 members dead, so looks like it's about to be game tempo. But not 100% sure.
All right, cool. Well, that is not the end of RaccAttack. They will go down, and I believe they will face Team Blaze, so they're not facing OVO again. I think that's how that will work. So they will be up against Team Blaze. J-How will probably... I don't know who will be casting Cloud9 versus the next one, actually. But we will give you all the information that we can in the chat, but we're going to take a break before our next match. Stay tuned for more heroes.